So something's wrong with that. It should have started over here, but it didn't. Now I think it'll be working. It is. All right, we're good now. So like I was saying, um, here, let's get this down so we can actually work because I can't work up there. And shit's falling. I moved my been complaining about this thing, even though I love it. It's been misbehaving, and I think it's the extension cables. We'll see if it does it again today. If it doesn't do it, then we'll know that it was the extension cables that were fucking with me. And I really think that's what was messing with me. At least that's my hope. Weirdo, 20 months. How's it going? Let me turn that down. I don't need to hear that. How are you doing this fine day? So, because I disconnected the cables, now that's going to like my monitor over here instead of on that. So I need to make sure my work area is where it needs to be. I love when silly things happen like this. Hopefully everybody's having an awesome day. Last night, my D&D session, we almost had a TPK. I'm gonna set my monitor up real quick again. But it was really close. The party was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna," there was a lot of shit on the board because they kind of screwed up and a whole lot of things were coming in. I believe the sound's on the alerts because I heard it on my computer go off, so that means it should have gone off, because I didn't have this in. It should have gone off on that end as well. I mean, I'm assuming you're hearing my mic because I'm seeing the HyperX going. Um, right now, the only thing I have turned off are the channel points because I upgraded to the newest OBS 28, and all the different things that I have to make this shit work. Try replaying the alerts. I can make a bogus alert go off, I think. I tell you what, let me go to Stream Elements and let's see what it does. But while I'm getting in there, yeah, the group almost died altogether. It was a rough night for the party. They Oh my God, it was a really rough night for the party. It was kind of funny, I think. All right, so let me see. I gotta find it. I've got so many things set up in here from over the years. I need to start getting rid of some of these things. No, I mean, the one guy that I was going to have come in, he flaked out and didn't join. Um, so, you got to hate it when people just flake the fuck out. So let's see. Let's do a follower event. I see it there. I hear it. I'm assuming that you heard that. I'm thinking it worked. That's weird. Let me do it one more time. I'm going to see if PC sound comes across. Because if I see it here, then I don't know. Try one more time. So the PC sound is not coming across on that. Hmm. You know what? I bet I know what's happening. Properties. It's going to default. And it should be going to this. We'll say okay, and we'll do one more time and test it. I bet that worked. You know what? I really hate it when this shit, it, you have your stuff set and then it goes, let's use default. And default doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. So that's annoying as fuck. It really is. All fixed. So how's your day going? So I guess the first thing we'll do here, let's see if this is going to work today. Zoom in. There we go. Today it's working. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to work the whole time. So this is what we made so far. I don't think you've been in stream. We made our Shar statue. Made a shitty skeleton I'm not happy with. Made some fucked up tapestries. Table, bunk bed, statue with a couple of scantily clad elves that you really can't tell, and it doesn't matter because, well, it's not even a statue. It's one of the archgates, except it's like this, them each going like this. Um, got paid a full day wage to teach 2 classes. Well, that's good. So are you teaching again? I thought you were gonna go for like I may be wrong, like accounting. You were gonna start working on that. Are you jumping back on the teaching train? What's happening there? So we need a chaise lounge. I think I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. So what I'm thinking is we'll make it kind of square, um, or rectangular, I should say. Make it about 6 feet long. Yeah, I mean that's generally a problem. Period. So the width on a chair or a chaise lounge, would it be about 2 feet? We'll create inside of 3 feet here. Um, I really don't want to use a material. I was thinking we'd go with I'll make it 7 feet and then we can chop off if we want to. I lost track of what I was going to say because now I'm worried about how I want to do this. Oh, is it doubling up? See, that's the problem. You know what the simple solution to that is? Well, is it only coming across once? Because the issue is going to be you're going to hear it no matter what. I'll just turn it off and try to pay attention. Let me see if that turned it off. I thought I just shut down Chatty. Do I have 2 instances of it? The fuck is going on? I have a lot of instances of this thing going. A lot. What I'll do is I'll turn PC sound down just a little bit. That way I'll still hear it and it won't be super loud. Um, so I'm thinking what we're going to do for this thing is read the description first. That's probably the first thing to do, right? So let's see. Dead male human lies naked, which won't be naked. In the center of the room is cast off purple robes and purple and black robe draped over a small table nearby. I need a small table. Um, See, it just says a chaise lounge. Now, this is like a cult that really digs purple. So maybe we'll do a purple shade and fill it in, even though I admit I'm not a purple fan. I mean, yeah, we had to make that purple fire up there. And I wasn't really happy about having to make the purple fire, but it is what it is. Um, so first let's start off here. We know base purple this is the hex code. There's base purple. Um, I think we're going to go down. We'll keep the hue, but make it just a little bit darker. Then we will. So we're not going to touch that trestle table. We are going to make a new folder. This will be for the chaise. Easy's all relative. I guess it's a matter of what are you thinking? I mean, with time you can pretty much draw anything. I think for emotes what I would do is maybe mess with maybe start messing with drawing those when I'm sitting out there, which might be a good idea to set up some emotes and just use Procreate because it really is very similar to Photoshop with the layers and stuff. It's just made for an iPad. And I've been really lazy. I've been intent on getting some work done on on that iPad while I'm sitting out there. And you know what I haven't been doing? I haven't been doing shit. I go out. The wife wants to watch TV, and I'm like, hey, let's fucking watch TV. And I could be drawing while I'm watching TV, but you know what I'm not doing? I'm not drawing while I'm watching TV. So that's my bad. Yeah, I mean, if you have Photoshop, you've got the Surface Book and a pen, and then if you can sit down and draw, then you've got it. It's just a matter of learning the tools. So I don't know if you've actively worked with Photoshop on drawing and stuff, but it's not hard. I mean, where Photoshop got a little silly with me was going back and forth. Photopea. I don't know if you'd be able to use it. There are a couple of them. Krita, which is a really good art program. I mean, there are a few art programs that are pretty good. Um, you know, Make sure you're using something that has layers. You don't want a single layer thing because then if you have to make corrections, you're kind of fucked. I'm big on layers. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make the chaise lounge. And like I said, we're doing it simply. Um, let me deselect here. I mean, what you'll see exactly, more layers. What you will see a lot of times is, where you'll have oh, I need to get rid of the grid. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll have like the upright like here, and then You know, they'll make it all fancy and rounded like that. Um, but I'm semi against doing it that way on this one because I want to be able to lay that figure down on here and have the arm draped off the side. So, I mean, technically we could do it like this, you know, with that really round bulbous area like that, but I'm not a super huge fan of the design. All right, so on top of this, that'll be the base. I'm gonna this will be more like a sketch layer, but let's mess with this, start laying down some basic lines to see how we want to do this. Um, take our brush size down a little bit, set our opacity up all the way. So like right up in here, we're going to want, this will be the rounded part. It's going to slope down to about there is what I'm thinking. And then you'll have that back area. I'll figure out if I want it to go here and then have it go down or this way. Um, in fact, what I'm thinking is maybe, you know, there's the rounded part up top. Here's this. And we're going to want this, you know, we'll have like a top edge up here and then have it slope down so we can kind of see that it's sloped in that way. And we'll see the slope over here. And then maybe, you know, have some type of, I don't know, quilting and indents with buttons. Just had to switch browsers. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how I want this damn thing to look. You know, I always hem and haw a little bit when I'm working on these things at first. All right, so I guess the first thing we'll do is let's create some clipping masks. So we'll do shadow layer as a multiply layer. We'll do the highlights layer as, we'll try the screen and see if it does what I want it to do. I'm not sure it will. All right. So now that was our base color. We'll be able to pick it if we need it. We'll go down here for the shadow. Then we will pick this. We'll go here for our highlights. And that should give us enough to start. I always forget I could just hit X and that takes care of it. One of these days I'll remember that. I don't think I will, but we'll see. All right, so now let's use our soft round. We'll take our brush size up a bit. And I guess let's start in here. We'll start at about 40%, see what it looks like. So there and there. So that kind of gives us that. Then we will pull this down a little bit. I think I'm going to cheat a little. We'll use that shift to make that go straight. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. I want more slope there. So there's that. Let's have that kind of trail off back there on an angle. No, thank you, scam likely. Fuck you. So that's the back edge trailing off. We will do this edge here trailing off as well. Let's flip this way. We'll make a little bit of a highlight here going across to show it kind of going down. Same thing kind of here. Then I really want to pull this down. Go like that. So it looks like it's coming up in the air. So that gives us a little bit of that rounded look right there. Then we need another shadow line like here. And then to make this all work, we're going to want this to kind of come down there. I don't think that's going to, not really going to do what we want. So, oops. Let's take it up a little bit. Kind of want that here. We need to lose that. So I shouldn't say anything. So far, so good. We're not disconnecting yet. Oh, I was so mad. I went to drop off my daughter and come home. The minute I walk in, I hit the garage door closer, right? And the garage door starts going down and it just stops. And I knew what happened. We had a power surge. The fucking power went out. I come in, the internet's down, and I had already done the render on DAS. And even though I have a power supply down there, I have the computer plugged in so that it'll run for like 20 minutes if the power goes off. I was really, really worried that I was fucked. But we got really lucky. Really, really lucky. Now I think what I'm going to do on this end is this. Let's take the eraser up a little bit. We're going to, I would have been so mad. Yeah, hold on one second. Let's see. I'm not happy with that. Not happy with that at all. I think what we want is for it to go like this and then up and over. Maybe. We'll have to redo the shadow on there, but I think that might do it. Actually, let me do this. Hard. We're gonna. I didn't gonna do what I intended to do, is it? That's our base. Come on. Oh, it did it. You bastard. All right, let me see. How do I do that? Roles manager, maybe. I think that did it. I think. You tell me. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I just heard something. If you hear gunfire in the background, you'll know something's going awry. All right, that's better. I thought I heard someone in the house, even though it's just me and the four-legged children in the house. And, you know, that would have been a bad thing. I would have to cut the stream off for shooting somebody. All right, did this come back? See, the mouse is moving, but it's not reacting. So I guess it wasn't the extension. I thought it was. Let's see if this works now. I shouldn't have to do this. This kind of annoys me. I mean, I love my big ass. Oh, that's why. I love my big ass tablet, but come on. So what I'm thinking is, you know what? Let's pull this back. Kind of have it go like this. So like that and then down. All right, now, so we've got that going down like that. We can kind of come here and take it down there. I'm not totally happy with that curve. Let's see how that looks. I think that'll work. All right, now let's start erasing some of that shadow we put up there, and we'll make some adjustments. So we'll erase this. And then we'll create a new shadow on the back side. I think what I'm thinking here, let's throw our stroke on here. We'll make the stroke at 4. And see, the stroke is telling me where I need to erase. And let's see if we can smooth that out so the stroke line looks nice and smooth. That's pretty good. And oops. We'll do this in pieces. Nope. Nope. I think that's okay. So now, because we made that adjustment, you know, what we're thinking, this is still going to be here. So we're going to need a shadow that kind of goes there and down. Fucking Dookies out there. What? Oh, Duke, you're a dick. He is one loud motherfucker too. All right, so this we're going to want to be like that, except we need to pull it back. What were we running? Like 40% before? So we'll do that there. That come down there. And that's our seam on the bottom. This is problematic because it should be straight. Is it straight? It kind of is. All right. And we'll start messing with that stuff. To make it do what we need it to do. So the rounding there looks good. Now let's take this up and we're going to create that zone there, that there, and there. Then it's a little more subtle here. So it looks like it's rounding off on the back side. And this entire section to be like that. Now we're going to erase all of those lines, and then we're going to create the lines that we actually need. So for this, let's go with our hard round brush. I think we're going to keep this shadowed purple that we made. And let's see if this works. What's going on? It's not doing anything. You bastard. See, it's doing it there, but it's not doing it there. Every once in a while, you get something stupid like this happening. See, like right there, it's kind of coming in. I think I'm okay with that. See, that's much more apparent. It's like that slight shading difference. It's all that it takes to make the damn thing work. I'm not real thrilled with those lines. I think we're going to do this through shadows. I'll leave that there, and I'll leave this there. But let's start working on this. Oh, I'm on eraser. Duh. That was dumb. When we're running this stuff, I think we're happy with that. All right, now so do we want this kind of to look like squares or Kind of like that. Kind of there. And then for this, it's going to have to be a little more indicative of this rounding. Kind of like that. That. And that. And then this back side. Oh, let me see what I see here. The house rule. Thank you for following. Hope you're having an awesome day. So I think we'll come up here and then kind of curve over. Same thing there. Curve over. I think we'll try to make it like that. Maybe there. Kind of want to give it that pseudo quilted look. Maybe there. I'm not super thrilled with this right now. All right, and then we're going to need like an indent for each of these little areas. So we'll put our base shadows in those. And then we'll have to create some highlights along the edges. Well, here you go. That's going to go in. See, we have to make our assets too, because I don't use other people's assets. So this room is where we're going, and this needs a chaise lounge with a dead guy that a bunch of vampires are sucking on. We'll need to put the purple lights in here as well. We're going to need a table with a robe thrown over it. So it's all stuff we have to make. So it is all map making for Van Rek Doom, but if I don't have the assets, I can't make the map. And I stopped using other people's assets a while ago. Because, I don't want to pay licensing fees. Because I am a cheap bastard. So I think we're missing one of our shadow lines here. And I'm trying to get this done because my group is catching up. If you're a cheap bastard, you have to be honest about it. There's nothing wrong with being a cheap bastard. Yeah, I'll pay for some things, like, when I need a new PC, stuff like that. That doesn't bother me. But paying for stuff that, we can make, that really bothers me. I mean, it really bothers me, really badly. So our light, we always figure the light comes in this direction. So this is what we're going to do, especially on this angle. We're going to, I think we're going to, I think I'm going to change this and let's see what soft light does. Um, I just feel like, the screen layer doesn't cut it for me. So we need to get this just right. And that's it with stuff like this. It's always trying to work with the light and shadow to make it work. So Weirdo, what are you thinking about making emotes for? Am I using a hard brush here? Stupid motherfucker. That's why it doesn't look right. I'm sitting here going, why doesn't it look right? And I keep drawing with it without looking up here going, oh, it doesn't look right because I'm using the wrong hairy freaking brush. You gotta love that. It's, what I usually refer to as, one of those old man moments. So you find a style you like. I know for me, I think about doing it and then like if I'm drawing or something, I should be working on assets that I really really need. I really need to finish getting because we spent what that 1 week in stream making our base set of wooden assets. See, that looks so much better. And I think, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to stick with the soft light. I kind of like the effect better than the screen effect. All right, so again, light's kind of coming that way, so we'll erase those because I didn't do what I should have done. So there. See, now it's starting to look like it should. Because you're always going to have like your shadow side and your light side. And we're not paying attention to that right now. That's better. It's much better. Need this kind of like that. that. All right. Now some light shadow in here. Ooh, that is dark. All right, and now let's create deeper shadow through here where that intersects. And I may call that, I may call it done. Let's zoom out and see how it looks where it's the size it'll end up being. And before we do that, let's add a little bit more here on this highlight side. Let's go up there. And there. So there's our chaise lounge. Not super thrilled with it, but let's put our dead guy on there. All right, so hold on one second. Got to remember where I'm saving those things. I think it's in my map folder because I created that as a reference. There it is. It's going to be a wee bit big. And that'll be our reference for our dead cultist. Let's see if we fit this to that, if it's going to look right now. We want the arm hanging over. We want them right like that. I think that works. So on top of this, we're gonna put it there for our reference. And we're gonna create a folder for this. Like I said, it's not going to be a naked dead cultist like they want it to be. And we're not going to keep that. We're going to end up using that as a reference and draw it. Dead cultist. Oh, and this is really where I do slow down a wee bit. Duke just went, what the fuck? So I guess we'll zoom in. And let's start fucking with this. We don't want an airbrush. We just need a hard round, and we need it much smaller. Oh, you know what really helps? To check our flow. Damn bird. Oh my god. We'll get our base sketch in, and then we'll make adjustments afterwards. And since he's dead, we don't need those eyes open. We need this kind of like that. And then that right there shows the eyes closed. Little indication here. Don't really care about how the mouth looks right now. We'll just start laying out where our basic shadows are going to end up going here. Right around the clavicle region. Maybe I'll worry about it, maybe I won't. I always end up making so many adjustments after I do this. But, you know what? Anything that makes your life a little bit easier is a good thing. So have you been streaming at all, weirdo? Or still semi-retired from streaming? I say semi-retired because we all go through our time periods where we're like, fuck this shit. Let's be honest. Semi-retired. I mean, over the years, I've taken so many breaks. You know what? That's the way it should be. I mean, I get on. My rules just, if I feel like getting on, I'll get on. Um, I know that sitting here doing stuff like this is not necessarily the most awesome streaming experience because, for the viewer, because the only thing I'm really worried about is getting my assets and stuff done, um, and getting my maps done. But if I'm on doing it, there's no reason I can't come on and do some chatting because it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, doing this kind of stuff, it's a lot easier to sit here and chat than when I'm gaming because you know, if I'm gaming, I get wrapped in it. I don't pay attention to chat or anything else. Especially if I'm doing something that requires my attention, like when I used to play Call of Duty all the time and didn't want to fucking get killed. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, so what I'm thinking, because I really don't want a naked dead cultist. So we'll do something in here, you know, like torn rags or something that covers up his things that don't need to be seen. I mean, the way I look at it, if here's the thing, if somebody ends up using the map, I want an asset on there that a kid is not going to freak out because they're seeing like a dangler hanging out. You know what I mean? Nobody needs to see that. Nobody. All right, so that's got our basis for this dead cultist. Um, I guess I'll decide if he's going to be shaved like me or has hair. Um, but I think now what we'll do is underneath this sketch, I'm going to pick a base color for skin. We'll lay down just skin tone across the whole thing and then start worrying about shading it in. You need to see the dangler. I don't want to see the dangler. I don't know. Were you in when I was talking about me seeing a dangler I didn't want to see? Like a month ago? So, now my daughter's boyfriend has been nicknamed the dangler because I get up to go out, grab my pants so that I can put them on and go play golf, right? Which my laundry room's in the front of the house over that way, kind of across from my daughter's bedroom and bathroom. So I go back in, flip the light on, um, grab my pants, walk out, and as I'm walking out, the bathroom door to the front bathroom opens, and there's a naked dude standing there who wasn't supposed to be here because I don't allow people to stay over fucking night. And if you want to have your boyfriend stay overnight, then you need your own motherfucking place. My house, my rules, let's face it. Um, so I stand there and I looked him in the eye and I told him, you have the exact amount of time it takes me to get my 12 gauge, load it and rack it, and come back here to be out of my house. If you're still here, they're going to carry you out. I was furious. And if my wife would have been the one, because it's about time she gets up and goes back and gets her clothes and all to get ready to go into work, I wouldn't have even given him the courtesy of a warning that I was going to shoot him. I was so fucking pissed. But that was a dangler, uninvited. I didn't need to see. All right. So they don't specify other than male dead cultist. Let's pick a skin tone. Uh, and I just need a base skin tone. So, you know what? Let's go with olive. Olive skin hex code. I think this should do it. Come on. So we're going to start with this. So that'll be E0AC. 6'9". So this is all just going to basically fill in. And we don't want that. We want a hard round brush. I'm curious. Oh, because I'm running eraser like a dumbass again. And we've got the full set of tones for this. You know what? I can run this over here. We're gonna put cloth on there. And here's the thing. You know, this is how I do it. It doesn't mean it's how somebody else has to do it. You know, I've slowly gotten how I make my statues and my assets. You know how I like to do it. Um, it's not necessarily, you know, the best way, the right way, you know, however you want to put it. I mean, it's kind of how when I used to paint with traditional media, it's just how I learned to do it. You know, I'd have my set up a palette with all my colors I wanted. I'd lay down the base tone and then I'd start, you know, you start pinching in. You have your shadows on the outside and then you pinch in to your highlights on the inside. And I've kind of carried over to where I do it the same way. It's just easier to fix things doing this way. I think we're gonna have this is gonna be a hairless cultist because I don't feel like doing hair. We'll say because these cultists, you know, their goal is to end up being a vampire spawn for somebody down here. This is a somebody who failed whatever the tests were that the person down here that turns them has. You know, they all want to have that Nosferatu look. And this guy failed horribly, so he just has that lunch look. He's a snack tray. I need to start making some color palettes for stuff like this so I don't have to keep looking the hex codes up. I started doing that. I mean, I had those all set up inside of Clip Studio, my color palettes. Um, I need to get started doing that here. And once this is done, one of the reasons I like to do it this way is I can then go in and create a clipping mask, and all of my shading that I do will stay inside that clipping mask. So I don't know how to take. I don't know if you saw the The Ubi announcement where they're talking about the new Assassin's Creed they're going to release, whatever the hell it's called, where it's going to have go back 20 years basically before Valhalla, have the guy who was the bad guy as the assassin that you're playing. I have a Now there are a few things that I'm not happy with. I'm going to admit it, and it looks like complete gameplay will be 18 to 20 hours, and I'm so used to with the last few. No, not the Japanese one. It's going to be in the. Is it Assassin's Creed Mirage? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Mirage. Considering what did I have in on Valhalla? I had 300 hours, like 200, 250 hours on Odyssey. That's what I like with those games is there's so much to do in there that you can spend ridiculous amounts of time playing those games. And there's still stuff I haven't found and done in them. This is going to be yeah, I know they've planned a roadmap. I mean, their goal is still to have Assassin's Creed as a service, and my opinion of that. I have a very low opinion of playing anything that is a subscription model. That's why I left Clip Studio Paint right quick and in a hurry the minute they said that they were going with a subscription model for the art program. I mean, I've had that thing since Manga Studio, before it was bought out by Celsius and all that stuff. I've had that forever, and it was never a subscription model. It was you buy it, you own it. The way software always used to be and the way it should fucking be. Um, but they're going down the path. And I know right now I'm working on something that's a subscription model, but it's something that I've had a subscription for. I'm not adding another damn subscription to my pile of subscriptions. Um, I just find it repugnant that, they were always like, look at us. We're the art program that doesn't fuck you with a subscription model. Switch from Photoshop. And now they're like, well, you know what? We're going to be even scummier than Photoshop because when you buy our season pass, if you stop paying for the fucking season pass, you lose the upgrades that you paid for and you revert back to 2.0. You're going to cook dinner. Thanks a lot, weirdo. And thanks again for the resub. And you didn't, I'm guessing you went in and put the language tag. All right. So I think let's put a stroke on this and make sure that it looks even. Doesn't need to be that big. All right, I think we're good. But yeah, the whole subscription model thing, some software, Photoshop became where you expect it. I mean, I used Photoshop for years back. I think CS7 was the last one that I had a full license on before they went to the monthly bullshit. I'm not unhappy with this right now. So the drawing. Um, let's start laying in some shadows and stuff like that. Let's see. Swatches. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Dragon. Let's add a folder here. Add. This will be olive skin. At least that's what it's supposed to be. We'll see if it actually looks like it when we're done. don't think it's going to look very olivey, but it is what it is. Mid-tone. And let's create all the tones. Oh, what is it doing now? There we go. So the next one is C68642. So we'll add that one. We'll call that mid shadow. We need that on this side. And we need our shadow. Cancel. We need to set the color up first, don't we? So that's 8D5524. So that'll be shadow. So there's mid-tone to shadow. Then we need our mid-highlight. That'll be F1 C27D. I think. Yeah, that's probably right. Mid-highlight. That actually went where it needed to go. We'll do another one. And this will be our highlight. I always forget to do things in order. Let's see. FFDBAC. Add another one. So there's our shadows to highlights. Let's see how it works. So I'm going to do this now because we have that done. You motherfucker. So I'm going to pull this. Let's try this again. I'm going to pull this down here. And that gives us that. And then we'll look at this for reference for our shadows. All right, so skin tone, we're going to need several of these. Clip it. You son of a bitch. All right. We will experiment on this. I don't think screening is really what we're going to want to end up doing, but we're going to try. These multiply always works, so we're not going to break it. All right, so let's go with our shadow here. Pick that. Go with our soft brush because we like to airbrush. And let's start laying this in. This whole thing here is all going to be deeper in shadow because it's hanging down. That is the beauty of this. We can always, because of the layer order, we can always start bringing these up so they're a little bit lighter. So this, we want to go underneath here. That's our deep shadow. We need a little bit of that and that. And now we're getting an indication of what is going in here. Now, this darker shadow, we're going to fill in between the fingers, down on the skin down there. We'll need to work on the lines on these fingers to make them look right. We'll need a little bit of taper over here. Big toe is not big enough there. We'll need to work on that. Top of the knee. Round. Come in like that. Got that. I don't like this line right here. And it's going to stick. Let's see what it's going to do. It's going to work. Of course not. So we're starting to get where we can see like the kneecaps and different things on there. We can see the hand placement. We need to clean that up with lines. I think I'm going to throw a base layer up here with a cloth. And I'm going to pick a cloth pattern, and then we're just going to shade that. So let's pick something really basic. Hold on a second. I do want to select this out. Let's use the lasso tool. And we want to make sure doesn't have to be perfect. We can always come in and fix it. And we're going to have to. Let's do that again. Cloth, fill, and let's clean it up. So that gives us that. Let's take a look here. Take it down about there. And then we just need 2 layers on this. We are going to a lot of trouble for one dead dude in a room. Let's be honest. And let's clip it. Come on. And then we'll be able to create our shadows for this as well. But now we've got our skin swatch for our highlights and everything. So we'll be able to come in and I think we'll be able to finish this thing up pretty darn quick. We'll probably create a second sketch layer and use that for clean lines. You know, a lot of stuff we won't need, like these lines here, will represent that with shadows and highlights. But I do want clean lines for like the eyes, the mouth, the nose, so it's easy to see. Now let's do this. Skin tone. Let's pull a brush. All right, then we'll just need to shadow that down. Looks a little bit better. Not great, but better. Save. And I'm going to have to get off. So I'll probably work on this a little bit off stream, get it done, and have this ready to rock and roll inside the map. Then we'll move on to the table and the robes. What did I do? Somehow I fucked with my layers. There we go. I love when that happens. But we'll be on tomorrow working on more of this stuff. Like I said, I'm hoping off stream I finish this off, and that will allow me to get moving on other assets and get this damn map done. But that'll be it for the day. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you tomorrow.